Alright, no one said me that recording this video is gonna be easy. I'm just gonna go ahead. I don't care if you're watching this video for the first time. I don't care. You're gonna, understand it on the way. Okay. So we got agency basically, and so today is 30th of July 2024, and we're making websites for clients. Which we don't have yet, and that's why I had a conversation today with a web designer. Actually, I forgot about it totally. So I think we got one. Yeah, convinced him somehow to work with us for free. The lucky part was that he doesn't have a job yet, and any kind of opportunity to have some kind of employment or work or any opportunity basically for him was a great opportunity. And I hope inshallah that we are not gonna leave him alone without money, because these projects by itself doesn't mean anything. Your portfolio by itself doesn't mean anything if you are not planning to work on that portfolio, right? So if you have gold in your backyard, but if you don't take it out of the ground and don't go ahead and sell, that doesn't make any sense. It's just gold. It doesn't have its value without the work which you're gonna put in. All right. So okay. So what about the agency? Basically, certain tasks or things which are making me closer to the end result, which is financial freedom and blah blah blah. So we have to set up the systems in the agency, right? So we have to make the agency good enough to present to the world, and when we're gonna land the client, be able to fulfill the client good enough so that he's not gonna hate us. And for that, of course, we need a great designer who's gonna be able to design great websites and stuff like that. And I gave him our own website, which we have for our own agency, right? And so he has to design our own website to see if he's gonna be able to design a really great website, because tomorrow I have 2 meetings with 2 designers also, and I have to see who does it better, and work with only one of them, because we don't have that much volume in comparison to my personal brand. I'm just gonna go a little off topic. We have like 3 YouTube channels. I have my agencies, my startups, and my own personal one, this one right here. And I got a lot of volume for video editors, and I have only one video editor, right? And actually, I didn't even like researched or searched to hire a video editor particularly. I like messaged 100 video editors, and 100 video editors. I messaged 100 web designers, and I messaged 100 video editors, but the message for web designers was to particularly engage to work with us, whether with video editors was to pitch the startup because it's totally free software, just use it, enjoy it. And that was a hook which I had in my mind. But now I have to get back to the game and text back to those people who was interested in the software and said me that software was good enough. So it's not that many people. I think 10, 20, maybe inshallah 30 people out of 100. And I have to offer them to work with us, because we have a lot of videos have been made. I mean, 201 episodes can be chopped up in multiple videos. It's crazy how many videos we can produce. And yeah, I just got a little bit off topic. So getting back to the agency, so we got this thing called VSL. So basically, I don't know how it reframes, VSL. I have no idea about it, but it's basically an offer video. If you have been watching my last videos, I talked about this thing a lot, and I described and explained this thing, what this thing does. And finally today, as you can see, I'm recording this video in my mom's kitchen, so I'm not in my granddad's house anymore. And guess what I did? I did what I was saying that I'm gonna do. Did I said you when I was in my granddad's house that I can't record the video in my granddad's house because there's a lot of people and relatives and I can't record it there? And that was true. What happened when I came today in the morning? I think I recorded it like, I started recording at like 10 a.m, something like that, near that, 10 a.m, 10, 11 a.m probably. Did I record it? Yes, I did. Job is done. Tick is made. Okay, what here's. So, two things: breakthrough, web designer, and recording a VSL video. And from here now on, I think the only thing which has last is to do the little tasks which has last. Is to put this VSL, upload it maybe to Google Drive, or like, let's see. And then just make a Google Doc explaining appointment setters what they have to do. Just the rest of the things. This one was the hardest one to make. The other jobs are basically making a Google Doc and just giving it to appointment centers, and then tracking if appointment centers are doing good job, and like maybe from there test if our systems are good enough. If not, improve them. And when we're gonna get to a certain quality level of quality, I would say, just increase the volume, increase the level of amount of appointment centers, and maybe even hire some people who can take the calls, like me and my friend. Right now we have only two people, so me and my co-founder, but in the future I think we will need more people to take the calls. So basically, that's it. And another thing is, payment processors. If you have seen a couple of my videos before, I have, the last video especially, I emphasized on this thing a lot, because I was trying for very long days. I downloaded many freaking apps. I tried multiple ways to open a Stripe account, but okay, I tried 2 or 3, okay, but I tried. It didn't work out. I tried to convince a friend of mine living in UK to open a bank account for me. He convinced me that the account is going to be eventually get banned, and that makes sense. But I was just trying to solve this issue. I have a problem, I have to solve it somewhere form. I can't just say, oh, okay, I'm not gonna do business because of this. I can't do that. And I think God has guided me. I got a comment on my last video, because I was, I think, emphasizing so much on this problem, and there was one guy, I don't know what he wrote down in comments that, okay, so the idea was to use bank wire transaction. So bank wire transaction, no any middleman, no payment processor in the middle. It's harder, obviously, because you need this bank account number, this transit number, all this, freaking 16-digit numbers, which, okay, but you are not limited to how many, if Stripe is available in a country. So if we can break through that, I don't care that it's gonna be harder to make a payment, bank wire transaction, honestly. It's gonna be a little mess for a client. I understand that, because he has to make a bank wire transaction to us. He can't just send us, we can't just send a Stripe link to him, or PayPal inquiry, Venmo, we can't do that. But I think it doesn't matter. As soon as the trust is there, if it's possible, and it is, I think everything is gonna be nice and done. So what I wanted to say you, that guy in the comments also said, he gave an idea about bank wire transactions. That's great. And I called the bank today. I got some numbers. Great. Alhamdulillah, I messaged them on Telegram. They didn't respond yet, because it was after 6 p.m. and they don't work after 6 p.m. I think it's possible to make bank wire transaction. That's the most important one, alright? So that's the most important. Is that it is possible, right? So inshallah, if it's possible, then it's gonna get done. Heading back, what I want to tell you about that guy. $25,000 per transaction. So the idea was that if you are making few transactions, but each of them is massive check for, like, as he is saying, 3 or 4 transactions a month, but each of them is $25,000 a month. Use in this case, use bank wire transaction. What? What? Okay. And if you have the price of the purchase is lower, but you have higher quantity, like on marketplace, where you for example, you're selling a digital course for like $100 or $1,000, something like that, then use a payment processor. All right, so it's gonna handle a lot. So it's gonna handle in this case, it's like I can't give you an example, but it makes sense. If you are making 3 or 4 transactions a month, making this headache of making a bank wire transaction is not going to be that much in comparison to 100, 200, 300 transactions which you have to do in the case of a lower budget, like some kind of product, right?